Hello guys, in this video I will show you my updated Powered Enchanting Data Pack. This pack changes the enchanting of Minecraft and allows you to choose the enchantments you want in-game. You can even create your own enchantments if you have some knowledge with commands. Also, unlike many other data packs with custom enchantments, this pack is fully compatible with renaming in the anvil and disenchanting in the grindstone. To get the data pack, you need to go on this website. Link is in the description. There you first need to select the version of Minecraft you want to play in. Afterwards you can select a premium edition. You can either select all enchantments, or in my opinion the best ones, or if you want you can also only select the enchantments which are already in the game. In addition, you can also insert the pack ID of an existing pack. This pack ID will reselect all the enchantments which were chosen in this pack. You get the pack ID if you either click on this or this button after you selected all the enchantments, or from the downloaded data pack which contains a file named pack ID. If we scroll further down, we come to the enchantment list. There you can find all enchantments. With the list options, you can filter out which enchantment should be hidden from this list. If you want to customize the pre-selected enchantments, you can select or deselect an enchantment by clicking on it. On the top left, you can see the name of the enchantment, and directly underneath it is a short description of it. In the table on the right, you can see the max level of the enchantment and the items the enchantment can be enchanted on. The last row shows you incompatible enchantments. This means that the enchantment can't be enchanted on the same tool as an enchantment mentioned there. This can however be disabled for some enchantments like Bane of Arthropods by clicking on the options button and checking the according box. Here you can also select the chance of the enchantment to show up on the enchanting table, or if the enchanting should be an advanced enchantment or not. What an advanced enchantment actually is, I will explain later in the video, but you can identify them by the red name. In the sidebar you can see all the selected enchantments. By clicking on the name, you scroll to it, and if you click on the dot in front of the name, you deselect the enchantment. After you select all enchantments, you can click on the download button. Here you can download the resource pack and the data pack. The data pack can be installed like any other data pack without unzipping it. To build the enchanting table, you need to have 4 chiseled quartz blocks, 8 lapis lazuli blocks, 1 glowstone dust, and of course the enchanting table. First, you need to place the enchanting table and drop the glowstone dust on top of it. At the blue particles, you need to place 2 lapis lazuli blocks on top of each other. And at the white particles, you need to place 1 chiseled quartz block. To finally enchant an item, you need to craft some books and lapis lazuli slices. To craft the slices, you need to arrange the lapis lazuli like this, and afterwards you can drop a book on top of the enchanting table. If 4 books move towards the chiseled quartz block, you made everything correctly. The names above the books shows you which enchantments you can get. You can select one by placing a lapis lazuli slice underneath it. And now the book is enchanted with protection 1. To finally move the enchantment on an item, you need to drop the item, in my example a chest plate, and the enchanted book on the enchanting table. This also works with 2 items, whereby the first item will stay while the second one will be consumed, like in the anvil. By the way, the combining in the anvil does no longer work. If you haven't already noticed it, the enchanting costs 2 experience levels and you need to have at least 30 to do enchanting. The combining costs can be seen if you hover over the item in the inventory. When you combine 2 items, the cost of the more expensive one counts. Like mentioned before, this pack also has advanced enchantments. Those enchantments are the more expensive and more rare ones like Mending or Soulbound. To get advanced enchantments, you need to charge the enchanting table with end crystals. This can be done by dropping 1 end crystal on top of the enchanting table. You can see the state of charging from the end crystals floating above the lapis lazuli pillars. You can charge the table with a maximum of 4 end crystals, but for the enchanting it doesn't matter how much the table is charged. The way of enchanting stays the same as explained before. The differences are that you are able to get those advanced enchantments, and for all the other enchantments you have a higher chance to get better leveled ones. If you select the blue named normal enchantment like Projectile Protection, the experience level cost stays by the 2 levels and only 1 of the end crystals will be consumed. But if you select the red named advanced enchantment like Mending, the experience level cost rises to 8 levels and you need to have at least 50 levels instead of 30. Everything else stays the same. This was it already with my short video. I hope you enjoyed this data pack and see you next time.